Hey guys, welcome to the video. It's Simon the Watch Guy. Today we're going to talk a little bit about everything really. I got a comment from a guy who said he felt that I'd hit a point where the watch collecting is it's kind of like a form of madness where we all get addicted almost, and it made me think what really stems this addiction? Where did it start? Is it curable? Are we all searching for something that, we don't really need? So let's get a little bit more into this. We've got a lot of questions to answer. We've got a lot of watches to go through. So let's begin. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My watch addiction, and it is an addiction. I fully admit, I realise at this point it is an addiction. Started when my ex-girlfriend left me. Okay, I was with her for 7 years. We were engaged, she was my world, literally my world. And when she left, that world, that idea in my head, it kind of fell apart. So what did I do? Now, most people would cry, fall into a state of depression. I'm not lying. Some of those things probably did happen, but I discovered watches. I've always been quite a technical guy. I'm interested in, how things work, and quartz and automatic seem like the perfect vice. So I've currently got this KDM watch. It's just basically a digital. It's a bit of a copy of a G-Shock, really thick, big, chunky thing. You do feel as if you could knock this, really quite hard, and it would take it. Super cheap. Get this on Amazon. So, yeah, I've picked that one up fairly recently. It's got a loud tick on it, so any watches like the Swatches really annoy me with the loud tick. So, that's by the by. I don't really use that one. Casio. This is also known as the Casio Royale. It's the 1200W, I think. Is it 1200? Yeah, 1200WH. What can you say? It's a great watch. It's got a decent backlight on it. So again, I was buying these watches, and I was buying loads of them and thinking to myself, are these making me happy? And that's the question you've got to ask yourself. I love the Casio Classic range. I think for the price, the watches are fantastic. The quality of the crystal on this one, I've got to say, is not very good, really. But guys, this was like £5. This was literally, I've paid more for my dinner. Literally paid more for my dinner than I paid for this watch. So what? You can't even complain at the price point. It really is that good. You may remember the two Tervises. One was automatic, one was a quartz. Obviously the quartz on the left, the automatic has stopped over on the right. The power reserve was pretty terrible, if I'm honest. Quartz one has actually been fine. Literally can't fault it, but at the same time, I just don't wear it. Do like the crown guards on it. I think I've seen a few watches recently without crown guards, and to be honest, it makes you appreciate them all that much more. Let's get these ones out the way. One of my favourite Casios of all time has to be the A158. This thing, okay, it's got the resin case. It's such a shame. I said this on the actual review of the watch. If that was a metal case, stainless steel case, honestly, guys, I would pay £30-40 for this. Maybe more, I don't know. Absolutely stunning looking watch. Essentially the Big Brother, well, it's not even the Big Brother, it's the same module that's in the F91. I've put mine on a NATO. And what can I say? Honestly, these watches bring me so much excitement, and this brings me on to the next topic. Can a cheap watch bring you just as much excitement, if not more, than an expensive one? So let's take a quite an expensive one from the collection. Relatively expensive. I don't own Omegas or Seiko or Rolexes, but This is £360 I paid for this one. For this is the SNE 498P1. And, you know, when you compare it to something like the Casio, which was like £5, just think how many of those you could buy for this, you know. But this is a solar-powered diver, 200 metres. You've got the screw-down crown. You've got the unidirectional bezel. I reviewed this actually twice for the channel. You know, it is what it is. It's a Seiko diver, a reimagining of one of the most famous Seiko divers of all time. Fantastic watch. But it raises the question, how much joy does it bring me? Honestly, I don't know. Compared to the, I think it's because these things are so affordable. It's unbelievable that they can make them so cheap. Obviously, they cut corners with the resin case on this Casio. But hey, you know, seriously, just can't complain at Casio's price point. As you know, I did get into my automatics, and this one's actually still running. This is are we on time? 10:43. Yeah, this is actually running quite accurately. Just give this one a bit of a shake. This is the this is going to test me. The SNX G47K1, I believe. So this is obviously a Seiko 5 with the 7S26 movement. Really beautiful. I really love even the profile of the watch. I think it's absolutely stunning. But because it's automatic and because it's not a kind of set it and forget it watch, I do find myself, sometimes if I don't wear it for a long period of time, I just find myself being a little bit upset that I can't take it and run with it. I've got the Seiko, the Orient Bambino. I don't know what I'm thinking with Seiko. Orient Bambino, so this has got the manual wind, you've got the date. Interesting to note, the Seiko had the day date. This is just obviously a date. Got the Roman numerals applied around the face of the watch. Got that beautiful reflection. It looks really expensive. Does have a bit of a loud rotor, but I like that. Some people don't like it. I love that because, I don't know, it just reminds me that it's automatic. As if you'd ever forget, but it reminds me that it's automatic. And I kind of like that sound. It doesn't affect me in any way. Some people say it feels a bit cheap, that having that sound. But seriously, guys, the domed crystal, which I'm just trying to show you here, it's a beautiful sight to behold. Such a fantastic watch. The Bambino, it's got a great power reserve as well. I think it's slightly better than the Orient in my... the Orient is better than the Seiko 5 in my experience. Heading towards the end of the collection, so let's be quick. There's days I think I could just get rid of this entire collection and use this one. We'll come back to that in a second. My vintage piece, my only vintage piece in the collection, this is a Seiko M354. This was basically, the M354 module was used in the Moonraker film, James Bond, back in 1979. This one is near mint condition. I've never ever seen another, and believe me, I look often. I look very, very often on eBay to see if I can find more of these, and you just simply can't. This is just a gem to behold. This is, if I got rid of everything from the collection, apart from, one watch, I would probably keep this one purely because you can't buy it again. Seriously, you just can't. It's I don't know. Great watch. Obviously, if you set the date to 1991, it's got the same date layout as 2019. So even though we're in 2019, this watch only goes up to 2010. But if you set it in 1991, all the days, work as normal. We can see 23 flashing really fast there, which shows us it's the 23rd day of the month. It's a Sunday. Seriously, to be honest, this is another watch that could be the one. And the most recent addition, and probably the last watch I will buy, apart from maybe the 5600, I've been talking about that for a while, is the Bulova Curve. Now this model is the What is this model? 98A162. This has got the see-through exhibition case back. It's sapphire crystal. It is also a titanium and steel watch. 262 kilohertz per second. So the accuracy is absolutely phenomenal. Plus minus 10 seconds a year. Yes, a year. You heard that right. The curvature, it really is something quite special. It is a special watch. It's fantastic. The history, the heritage of Bulova, now owned by Citizen. So as you can see, we're looking at about 13 watches I think I've got now. But I keep coming back to this one. And this is where we're going to try and answer. We're going to finish off this question that was posed by one of my viewers, one of my subscribers. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we spend hundreds, if not thousands? I've probably spent thousands, maybe about £3,000 in total. Now, okay, some people spend way more on one watch. Some people buy a Rolex for maybe £5,000, £6,000. My watch collection, my budget doesn't allow me to go to that much, but I've probably spent in buying and selling about £3,000. If I was to get rid of every single watch and just have this one, it's solar powered, it's atomic time, so it's super, super accurate. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I think the problem we've got as watch collectors, as hobbyists, in my case, it was stemmed by a form of probably some sort of depression, I guess, when the ex left me after 7 years. We were engaged. Huge shock to the system. I ended up buying these kind of to, I don't know, make myself feel happy again. But has it made me happy? Well, as you can see, each watch represents a different form of happiness. And somehow I think that if I collect all of them like Pokemon or like a jigsaw and I put them all together, that I'll just form this huge watch nirvana. But really, there's no end to it. Some are automatic, some are digital, some are solar powered, atomic, some are just general, basic quartz, some are basic automatic movements. Then you've got the curved watches, you've got the lume, you've got the applied indices, you've got all of these different things. You've got the day-date function, you've got the calendar watches. At the end of the day, no watch is ever gonna be the one. No watch is ever gonna be the final watch, that kind of grail piece, because you'll always find something that's better than it, or that you perceive is better than it. This one's made in Thailand, but what if I get a Japanese watch? That's the kind of rationale that us watch guys think. We buy these watches and then we see something else and we think, what if that one's better? And it's a vicious cycle. And I say I've probably owned 20 or so watches in the past year, including these ones. Has it made me a happier person? Has it made me a better person? No, not really. Has it made me happy? Yeah, it's made me. I've enjoyed each watch. I love each watch. I could probably get rid of the entire collection and just have the A158. Seriously, it's that good. It's got an alarm, stopwatch, easily set the date and the time. But why don't we do it? Is it the thrill of the hunt? Are we just chasing something that we can never really quantify, that we can never achieve? Mineral crystal, sapphire glass, the combinations, the see-through case back, like we've got on the Bulova, for example. You see that and you just think, wow, it's 11 joules. It's got the word Bulova written. It's a high-performance quartz. But what if I got a Bulova automatic? I wonder what the Bulova automatics are like. You see, no matter what you want in a watch, you'll always want more. And there comes a point, I think, when you've got to think to yourself, am I just being greedy? Am I being ridiculous? Am I being a bit silly? So I think what I'm going to do, I've got this collection. I'm now going to try to whittle down the collection, and this really will sum up. This will be the end of the channel when I finally get through this. I've built up the collection over the past 2 years. This is what I've ended up with. And now, one by one, I'm going to try and get rid of watches in the collection until I'm down to maybe 2 or maybe 3. I don't need this many watches. It's greed. It kind of sums up a negative place in my life where the ex left me and left me destroyed, basically. I didn't think there was any reason to carry on at the time. It was a horrible experience. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. Wouldn't wish it even on an enemy. So I think it's time to, let's start curing the madness, Let's see which watches I end up keeping, which ones I end up getting rid of. But yeah, this video marks basically the beginning of the end, Alpha Omega sort of thing. I'm going to try to whittle down the collection and get rid of, certain watches, and I'm going to end up with about 2. A beta watch and an everyday watch. It's going to be an extremely tough challenge because I don't want to get any of them. The hobbyist in me, the fanatic in me, I guess the hoarder in me. I'm hoarding watches, aren't I, really? I don't need this many watches. I've only got 2 wrists. So let's see where this takes us. I'm going to have a good think about this. I'm going to have a good thinking about the meaning of a watch, why I got a watch in the first place. At the end of the day, it's to tell the time. Maybe use the stopwatch or check the date. I'm going to come to a conclusion about which watch fits the bill out of the ones I've got. And let's get rid of some and see where it leads. See if we can kick the watch addiction once and for all. Okay, guys, as always, it's getting to be a long video, so please comment. Feel free to subscribe. I don't mind if people don't subscribe. I'm not one of those people who likes to beg for subscribers. It doesn't bother me. I do appreciate it if you do subscribe. Anyway, yeah, comment below. I'm really interested, more than anything. Even if you don't subscribe, please leave a comment. I love reading the comments from other watch collectors, watch hobbyists. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned because there will be more videos relating to these watches in the future. Okay, thanks. Bye.